Commission regular meeting agenda, January 13th, 2026, City Council Chamber, City Hall. Please fly. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank all the planning commission members that are here tonight. Always appreciate a full. Okay. Roll call.
Miller.
Here.
Trider.
Here.
Spain.
Yes, sir.
Moderano. Yeah. Rolo.
Yeah.
Norris.
There.
Leone.
Here. Public comments? None?
I didn't get any, so.
Approval of minutes from December 9th, 2025, regular meeting minutes.
I make a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Roll. Roll call.
Miller.
Here.
Trider.
Here.
Moderano.
Yes.
Spain.
Yes, sir.
Rolo.
Abstain.
Norris.
Yes.
Leone.
Yes. Public hearing, none?
No applications this month.
Just over there, is that unusual?
No, not really.
Do we have-
Not with the holiday.
Do we have anything coming up?
We have some stuff coming up. A lot of stuff's kind of been, it's the bigger stuff, rezone type stuff. So those take a little bit of time. So
Okay.
I've been working with about 3 applicants, so we'll be seeing them soon.
Okay, so going to number 6, whole business comprehensive plan, staff?
Yeah, so last meeting we kind of discussed maybe kind of retooling and resetting ourselves. So I printed out a handout for everyone. What we were kind of doing, we were going a little too fast and going, it was a little hard, I think, for everyone, including myself, to go through that strategies and the strategies I was printing out before. So I went with the spreadsheet because you guys know I was formerly an engineer, so I tend to go to spreadsheets because it's easier for me. But this kind of lays out, at least, we could see the goal, the action step, the how to measure success, and then just a feedback you guys have. My thinking on this is maybe we kind of, because we did do these before, but maybe we kind of relook at them, especially since we have some new planning commission members, and then just kind of open discussion. And then I'm definitely open to seeing where we kind of draw the lines. I just did the community growth and land use piece. I have the other ones done on a spreadsheet, or I have about half of them done. So we could continue on and end up being a pretty big spreadsheet for a consultant whenever we get to the comprehensive plan and the new comprehensive plan we work on. But at least it would be something I could give to them and say, hey, this is where our plan commission kind of stands right now, or feel like where we are in the old comprehensive plan. So that was kind of my thinking. If it works for everyone, if not, then tell me, and I'm open for changes, definitely. Like I said, this is just giving us this is giving me something so I can turn around and give it to a consultant on the comprehensive plan whenever we get there. So on that, just real quick, DOLA opened up yesterday for some grant funding that the city's going to be going after for the comprehensive plan. I think we're going to be asking for $150,000. I've already secured $50,000. Well, I should say it's $150,000, and then we would be putting in another $150,000, so it's a 50-50. So I have $50,000. I'm be asking Chaffa for about another $25,000 because I have a pretty decent relationship with them, and then after that, the city will have to put up some match, but we're going to try to offset the cost as best we definitely can. So that's in the works. I've emailed our regional rep for DOLA, try to set up a pre-application meeting, and still working on getting some funding, get the comprehensive plan moving. But all this that we're working on now is just to.
So what part of that is for the plan, for the comprehensive plan?
What's that?
That money?
Yeah,
The grant?
So the grant would be, the 150 goes completely towards comprehensive plan. Comprehensive plans, after talking with Mr. Yerman, who's pretty experience with these things, he said they're running about $300,000 now. So we're trying to stack all the funding we can to offset that cost. So, like I said, 100. We're kind of the stack right now is 150 from DOLA, 50 from different grants I've already received that we have secured, and then another 25 from CHAFA, and we put a heck of a dent in that 300,000, which would be really good. Yeah, it's a lot of steps, a lot of it's a lot of work, but it's all well worth it. That's for sure.
Appreciate your work, man.
We're good. And then, like I said, this is something that we kind of turn over to that consultant whenever we pick one. And it also is going to help us pick one, because if maybe we're leaning economic development, maybe we want to work with a consultant that has more expertise in economic development. If we want to lean towards tourism, you know, maybe if someone has that, or if it's all of the above, you know, then we can, you know, work with them as well. So it's all part of the big long process to get this moving. And Chairman Leone's been through these. They're extensively long, right, Mr. Leone?
Yeah,
Extensively long. So we're just starting the.
yeah, and some of this that we're gonna be going through, I think we're already doing it.
What's that?
Some of the stuff that we're going through, we have already been doing it.
Yeah, we've been doing it, so it might be not worth our while to put it in the next comprehensive plan.
Right.
Maybe it's kind of part of our process already, which would be good. I mean, we're showing a little bit of growth, which would be awesome. So, so I don't know if everyone likes the spreadsheet. My kind of thinking today, and you guys correct me, please. It's all up to you, but I was thinking maybe we go through like maybe 3 of the goals and kind of get everyone's feedback, and you know, we could kind of look through it, look kind of cross-reference on the comprehensive plan, and then maybe next time we could look at the next the next 2 goals, but there's 5 action steps on that one as well. Just kind of make it smaller bites of this thing, and then if that's too much, we could look at just the first goal or first 2 goals. It's really up to you guys. Don't want to overload you guys, and you know, I appreciate all your work because it's all outside. So I outside of, you know, normal hours. So I appreciate that. But if you want me to go through that first goal, this is all part of let's see, 5 of these goals are from the community growth and land use. In the comprehensive plan, that's page 19 and 20. So it's chapter 2, or 19, 20, 21. So in your comprehensive plan. So that's where all these goals kind of stem from. So that first goal is offer a mix of uses and destinations that encourage residents and visitors to live, work, play, and learn in our city's core. This action step was protect and promote the historic character of the core zone de Trinidad Main Street, Commercial Street, and other well-established areas. So I'm going to say that's going to be protecting our historic downtown, which I know is a very key piece to our city. Our historic downtown, it brings a lot of people to our town and makes people move here just because they go downtown one time and they say, I gotta live I want to live in a place that has a downtown that looks like this. I'd say about half the people I talk to, and maybe Commissioner Rollo could speak to it too, but a lot of people do fall in love with our downtown. Yeah. So I think that's what this goal is made to, is kind of gearing at. And then you have the how to measure success, incentivize adaptive reuse, and revise code sections. I think from the commission, I would like to hear if you guys think that's an appropriate goal for our town, if we still want to keep that a priority for us as a town, as well as if you think if there's other ways to maybe make it more effective, whatever. So I throw it back to you, Mr. Leone, if you want to get some feedback from everyone.
Commissioners?
Yeah, well, I mean, just from our last meeting, we're talking about trying to do the info and from a regulatory standpoint, revise code sections. So they were specifically mentioning how the roof pitch was inhibiting infill. So, I mean, if you, I guess you could look at the decision on whether you want to discourage or not discourage the manufactured homes, but assuming that we don't want to discourage manufactured homes, then relaxing that roof pitch would help this goal.
Changing it to a weight load per square foot would work.
Yeah, so real quick on that there is still, yeah. Oh, shoot. Oh, I'm gonna draw a blank on who it was. Mr. Moulter. He was right. We do care about snow load, which is something that's handled in the International Building Code, the IBC. I believe our snow load is 30. So if we have concerns about that, and if we do want to reduce our roof pitch, that requirement lives in our land use code. If we do want to reduce that, you could look at upping your snow load, if that's a concern for us. And I don't really know, I would probably have to call in some professionals, our third-party building inspector, Shum's Coda, who we use. And we could, if that's something that the planning commission wants to look at, that's totally, we can investigate that probably further. I don't know if we need to, make decisions quickly, but if that's something we're interested in looking at as a whole, then I think we definitely talk about it.
With those a lot, changing the roof pitch, and we always change it anyway. I mean, it seems like this is a normal thing that we do. So just putting that out there.
But then you come with a problem when they bring a house in and it's got hinges on the roof. That's why all this came about,
Okay.
okay? They wanted to bring in some 312s over hinges, and the reason they want to bring them in is because they can haul them down the highway.
Mm,
I don't think you want a house in here with hinges on the roof.
yeah. Yeah,
And that was the whole deal when they changed it to 612.
I see.
We have got some that are 512,
Uh,
and there's a lot of them that have been 512, but when that 2006 and 7 came in, and house roofs gave out,
mm,
different things, it was the ones that were below that.
I see. Yeah.
And if you go into some developments, like Mrs. Sandstein is up there,
Yeah. See if you
the
guys-
first part that you go into is not hers. That's a different development that was started there.
Mm,
Most of them are 512.
that's correct.
There is some 312s. But then you get back in the other one, there's even one there that's a 712 on Onondaga. I don't know if you ever noticed that one.
Yeah, there's more.
And I think that was put there by Mr. Marano when he was in the business.
Mhm.
But the reason for the 612 was safety.
Yeah, safety.
That was the reason for the 612.
Yeah.
And I'm voicing my opinion as a person up here,
Mhm.
that's all I'm doing. And a 512 to me, a 512 would probably be all right. But you sure don't want to start coming downhill.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's something if maybe we do investigate a little bit more. I could talk to some professionals that do plan review and stuff like that, and if that's something we're interested in as a whole, I think we could definitely open that door. I don't know. I don't know the history of it, so.
What is new houses that they put up over there off Onondaga, what are they right now?
They are 612.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so that
Because
gentleman.
if you go through the minutes of the last meeting, and I brought that up, that they're 612, he said, no, they're 512.
No,
But they
yeah.
are 612. 'Cause
Yeah.
I checked the next day,
Yeah,
they
so-
are 612,
So the ones that are being constructed right now, the 13 houses that are being constructed, they are 612.
right?
Um,
So,
we had
once
that.
you start changing that, then you're creating a problem for the next people that's coming in.
Mhm. Yeah,
That's my personal opinion. We can look at it, but
yeah, okay.
anybody else?
I have a few opinions about that roof pitch thing because, okay, it is true, like the snow load, you can have a flat-ish roof and it's fine. And I think it's also, like prohibiting potentially interesting buildings like the Santa Fe style, or, I'm on Colorado Avenue, and yeah, there's some of these nice historic roofs or houses with a flat roof. But that's one thing. And then the other thing is like the aesthetics. Like, does this thing fit in with the character of the city? Like hinges on the roof, that should just be something separate though, I think. Cause I agree, with that. And like having like these manufactured homes that look exactly like a manufactured home, just putting it in, plopping it in somewhere, I don't think.
In the middle of a development, yes.
Yeah, they can have their own development. Some places it's super appropriate, but some places it's not appropriate. So maybe I don't know if it's possible to separate those things. Yeah, but I agree, like, it might be helpful to have different pitches available for builders, to have a variety of styles. But, yeah, would it fit in with the neighborhood they're putting it into?
Mr. Trader? Nothing?
Dialing back to the broader picture that we were talking about is there are a lot of abandoned buildings downtown, and one of the reasons we moved here is because we fell in love with the architecture. When we traveled through here 10 years ago and bought our place, and it's definitely an asset. My wife really wants to get on the committee that pertains to historic buildings and stuff. It appears to me, though, that there are a lot of abandoned buildings downtown, and I'm wondering if there might be a way that we might be able to revitalize downtown by.
We're gonna have to go according to this.
Okay, I'm sorry. I beg your pardon.
You're getting off the track a little bit.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay.
A little ahead, but yeah,
Okay.
no problem. What about, the measures of success, incentivizing adaptive reuse? So, the city, prior to me coming on, did the Housing Now program where they incentivized affordable housing projects. There was additional funding for housing, or for projects in the downtown. So one of those big ones is actually, Holy Trinity, the academy. I'm sorry, not Holy Trinity Academy. The school here down the street, which is still in progress. That's a project that we're working on. The last council meeting, we finalized a development agreement, so that's what I was here with city council doing. But so that's a good project, because that's exactly what we're trying to gear towards. Is taking this abandoned that building. It's no longer functional as a school, because we don't need another school in our town right now, especially one of that size. So it being repurposed as an apartment complex is fantastic. It's exactly what we want, and that's something we want to encourage. So we have had some success, and that was through the cities. They got funding through the Housing Now. There was also a lot of other grant funding done to do some of the utility work in the street and all that. That's, we've talked about that with DOLA. About the Church Street project itself. But so that's an example of having some incentives to get a project like that. So I don't know if we probably want to continue that. I would say yes, we want to incentivize, adaptive reuse as best we can. I know Tura, so that's Trinidad Urban Renewal, they're looking at a project to do revamp one of those vacant buildings. So and that's another, Trinidad Urban Renewal is a separate funding source. So for the city, they have their own funds. They have some other capabilities as far as funding goes. So using them as best we can, partnering with them. So I think that's where we're really geared towards. But I know I'm going to speak for myself. I know our historic downtown is probably one of the most important things that we have, and I'm guessing you guys all feel the same way for the most part across the board. So this is still important to us, and we still want to see the reuse, right? We want to see those vacant properties reused as commercial downtown, commercial on the main floor, and hopefully at some point residential upstairs is the main thing.
Is it all?
How many units did Housing Now actually create successfully?
I don't know the exact number. Quick math, we're going to probably say about 120.
Okay.
So that includes the 13 units we briefly talked about just now, 45 here at the school, 40 units at the Mark project over there near City View Heights. And then there's some sparingly 1 and 2, those were downtown actually. They only were able to convert, because you have a building with a commercial downstairs, you only convert to 1 or 2 upstairs. So
how much money from Trinidad?
it was roughly $2 million. The city set aside for that, and
they were all successfully built. I mean, I know this one's in the works.
yeah, no, they weren't all successfully built. No, there was a couple that weren't able to go forward, and then there's a couple that are still in progress. Like the Eagles building has a building permit, so that one's should be coming together at some point, which would be awesome. But there are some that didn't to go, like, the former Moulter building on Pine Street across from the Park Cafe, and the one next to it, those two weren't able to. The funding just couldn't be in place, so that's unfortunate. We gotta continue to work with those developers to see if they could sell it, and maybe the next person could hopefully take on. from
Was that the old Eagles Hall too?
Eagles, they're still working on that. They have a building permit for that one, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Are they gonna put some residences in there?
8, yes, sir.
Really?
8 units upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And
the
then the
money that
downstairs is gonna
wasn't
be the
spent,
kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
it's still in the housing now fund?
Well, I'm not too sure what's left. Some of these projects took a little bit more than but it was worth it to give them a little extra because some of these other projects fell off. But if it meant that these projects would move forward, it was definitely worth giving a little bit more. So there was some trading off of giving some projects a little bit more than others.
So on
Or that they
this,
originally had.
how to measure success, where it says incentivize the adaptive reuse,
Mhm.
is that like where you want feedback whether we think we should keep housing now funds or
Yeah, if we can,
prioritize
yeah,
it?
if we continue, should we continue prioritizing? Or, I don't quite know, the budget's really hard, but if, budget's available to incentivize as best we can for reuse, probably in a smaller scale, 120 units is very successful. That's a lot of housing for.
And that's affordable housing.
Those are all, they're all affordable, or workforce housing is how we clarified it at the time.
Mhm.
I believe the state likes to hear affordable housing, but we do workforce housing in Trinidad.
So is there any way to say, well, maybe we've met our unit number for that, cause there's that apartment building going out,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah,
how
so
many
we,
affordable units
so
does
we,
Trinidad need?
according to Proposition 123, when we opted in, it was like 113,
And
so
we got, how many did you say?
120.
120?
But there is slight problem because some of them don't count towards the Proposition 123, which isn't a big deal. We've done everything we can to make it work. Some of them were created before, like that 120 doesn't count the Timberview Apartments, which is a brand new apartment complex as well, and it does have 8 affordable housing units, so, but those don't count,
So we did meet the goal.
We met, as far as the housing now, we probably met our goals there. So I don't know if we maybe shouldn't gear it more towards historic downtown. Maybe if we wanna do something like that again, be more towards, we gave it to these other projects and, right now it's a little bit easier to develop a vacant lot than it is to develop a town, or building that has asbestos and some other hurdles with it, so maybe we should help incentivize that a little bit more and focus more on just the downtown, is where I was kind of thinking to address some of the vacancy issues and stuff like that.
Interesting.
So are you trying to tell us that you believe we could be more productive if we did this approach and went towards the vacant lots? We could get more done for our time and money?
I don't know, it's just the way it works is, if, every.
Yeah,
seems to me
new
like-
construction is cheaper,
It's cheaper in a vacant model.
It seems to me
Way
like
cheaper
if
to
we
build.
can get more bang for our buck and more time out of this and more results for the people, then we need to put our efforts into where it'll show more and get results.
Yeah.
But if, part of what you want is people living downtown,
Right, this is true.
then
I think that
encouraging
we've
the
already
housing,
said that we
that's
didn't have
the-
housing downtown anymore, right? It's in the historic district and also in the downtown.
Well, no, we want
We
to
have
encourage.
high density housing.
Yeah, we want to encourage as much housing downtown as we can. So, like I said, we have a couple that just came on from the Housing Now program that I know of, and there are some places down there you could live downstairs, or you have a commercial space and then downstairs and a residential upstairs, which is something we really want to encourage. But I think we'll get a lot more traction once this project's done. Once you get 45 people, or in that case, it's going to end up being 100 people living in that building. I think it's going to help people. It's going to be encouraging to have more people downtown.
Well, that's right in the downtown area too.
That's perfect. You could walk, if you work at City Hall, you could walk.
Walking distance of everything.
That's right.
So do we have the opportunity that you're speaking about to create a commercial downstairs and an upstairs dwelling?
Right now, no.
Because
We-
that would
we're still kind
expand
of
both areas, that would
Yeah, yeah.
expand our business and our housing.
Yeah, that's kind of a focus of Trinidad Urban Renewal, which is
Yeah.
fantastic, and that's where they're headed. But I think for this, it might be worth it for us to, I can't say like right now I could budget X amount to start putting aside in this pot to do this. But if it's in our comprehensive plan, it helps me go get grants to do that.
Right.
That's what I'm kind of looking at. It won't happen this year. It's gonna have to happen, you know, but it gives us a goal to shoot for the next 5
I
years
understand.
and start, cause yeah, this stuff doesn't happen overnight, you guys know that.
Sure, am I wrong?
So,
Well, I believe that you have to renovate buildings downtown, and that's a good idea what he's doing, yeah.
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 Historic part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ms. Miller?
Yeah, I agree with that, and some of those buildings, if they don't get taken care of, are gonna fall apart more and more. So I think that would be a priority, to restore some of those historic ones. I'm thinking specifically of that one by the highway, I think you mentioned it, it's like the Eagles Hall and Lucy's is here,
Mhm.
and then it's here, and sometimes I walk over there and there's like bricks falling off of it now, and it's all boarded up.
Pine in Arizona.
Yes, thank you.
That's the one right on the corner,
It's
yeah.
the old Moulter building.
Old multi-building, yeah.
Are those the two that didn't make it?
Oh,
into
yeah,
the
unfortunately,
housing thing?
yeah.
I mean,
So-
they were slated for that, and they're the ones that didn't make it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought,
Yeah,
okay.
they had some funding but they weren't able to make all their funding align to move forward with the renovation, so.
And
Yeah, really, really sad, really disheartening, that sucks, but.
Yeah, and that, Danielle said a couple meetings ago of like, just that, you know, people coming into town and looking at houses and seeing these like dilapidated buildings, and nothing's being done. And even just the time I've lived here, which is like 2.5 years, just seeing these buildings that are shut down for that long is kind of feels like a lot.
there's a lot.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Mr. Cheddar.
Can you tell me how widespread fiber internet is in the downtown area? Is there fiber internet downtown?
That's a good question, and I do not know the answer. I could definitely look into it. It's hard, that's on a city utility, so I don't know. I'd have to maybe talk with their IT.
I was just thinking, there's a demographic of people, especially young people, who seem like they would really be attracted to living in a downtown area who are remote workers. And a lot of remote workers must have the kind of connectivity they get with fiber. Because I was just wondering how widely available it is down there, and to what extent it might enable that group of people to.
No, that's a very valid point. That's very fair. That's a big thing for all economic drivers as well as residential drivers. So yeah,
So,
that's a very good thing. I'll look into that.
you Ned? Mr. Cheddar, you Ned?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But when you look into, I see the dilapidated buildings in the downtown area, especially there's a few. But that's gonna have to be something that urban development's gonna have to deal with.
Yeah. So
I
Trinidad.
mean, we can put
Yeah.
our incentive in, but that's a renewal.
Yeah, it is. It does fall into urban renewal. That's kind of their curing blight. That's exactly what they do. But there has to be a economic benefit for
Right.
urban renewal to do it. But
Because
yeah,
that fits
they
in
could
with
cure
the
blight.
comprehensive plan.
Yeah, they could cure blight like that. We can try to incentivize people to, you know, as best we can. The hard part is it is going to take a private entity to put in the funding, align their funding, see the tunnel, or see that they're going to make money, because that's what people do. That they don't do it out of the goodness of their heart. They have to be able to make economic sense to open up a business or have a rental downstairs, to lease or a lease downstairs to their commercial, and then rentals upstairs. So it is tough to find those partners, but we definitely try as best we can, and I think the city's always done a good job of capitalizing when we have people that are interested in that, like Dana Crawford in the past, Kip Hamden, who's a very good partner of the city, still, and we when we partner with them, we try to hit as much as we can. And it's just always looking for more partners to work with to make sure we can make good sense out of all that. Yeah.
So when it talks about like revised code sections for redevelopment,
Mm-hmm.
and what our other commissioners said about seeing, these buildings just for years and years and years, we just keep talking about it and they're allowed to stand, and does part of the I'm just asking this question,
Mhm.
could there be anything changed to where that's not allowed anymore? You own it, you take care of it, you make it meet certain standards, because it's affecting the overall look of our historic areas. And quit the enabling building owners to just allow them to own property that they don't take care of, and they don't think about the neighbors, how it affects the neighbors, how it affects our fire department, all of the different things. It seems like they're costing our community more than because everybody says, well, it's so expensive to just tear it down, or it's so expensive to force it in a court. I wish that the city would look at what is it costing the community by not doing it.
Yeah.
Correct.
And that's the frustrating thing that I see, like it's just been talked about for so many years, it's almost like to ad nauseum. And I don't know what the solution is.
Yeah, I do know that the new council that started, what, 7 days ago, I do know they've expressed some frustration in the same thing. So I think it's going to be a point for us to reevaluate our code, our anti-dilapidation code, our vacancy code, which is good to have that backing. And we'll have to expand what we can do legally, because property rights they're very real. People own property, and it's very hard for a city, even though we do have rights to abate, we do have rights to fine and cite for negligence of your maintenance and everything like that. We do have those, but it's still people's property, so it's very hard. And the biggest thing is the economics of it. Knocking down a house is, even if an example is there's a house on University that the city's was prepared to knock down, we might press pause just a little bit because a gentleman that showed some interest in revamping the building is, he looks like he's going to end up with a deed, which would be great because we prefer that. But it's just a house. It's nothing special, and it was still going to be probably about $25,000, and that's half of that was asbestos abatement. So that was actually very fortunate. It was only $12,000 of asbestos abatement. So there's challenges. The city's very old. There's asbestos everywhere because the city's so old, and that's a big challenge for this. But yes, I will say that the new council has a very similar mindset. So we're going to try to push it as best we can to get action out of property owners, especially in our downtown commercial, as well as all our residential.
So we don't have to do anything further where it says revised code sections?
I think this one was more towards your land use codes, so that'd be not anti-dilapidation. It would be more of like your permitting process, which I would say you guys have done a great job at. When that was with your work through Mr. Yerman. So I would say you guys have done everything you can. We go as fast as anybody. And I've heard that from developers. They're like, sometimes I'm like, okay, well, you provide me this, and then we're gonna go to planning commission. They're like, wait, what about? And I'm like, no, this we go fast here, man. This is how our code was written. It was revamped to move fast. So it kind of catches some of them off guard, but it's good. They appreciate it, and it keeps things moving in a positive direction. It's just a lot of communication back and forth. So. I would say that's where that one's
We
kind
met
of.
that goal too.
I'd say we've done a good job of it, yeah.
If we want to encourage infill, I agree with what Diane said, and you increase fines and encourage people to clear it out, because if a lot is cleared, someone will come in and build something. If there's a dilapidated eyesore that's there, it's a liability. You don't know how much it's gonna cost to take it away and get to ground zero.
Mhm.
If we have it at ground zero, it'll be much more likely to have someone come in and put something new up. So
That's a fair
I
point.
think that we ought to come up with a recommendation to either put some more teeth into it, or, I mean, if we're gonna have it on the list,
I agree.
let's give it a little more traction
I got you.
to do something, give some teeth. Or
But
recommend it.
I think what the problem is though, when you go to somebody like that, what the city does is they do the minimum.
Well,
So instead of doing what they're supposed to do, they just do that minimum to get another year. You know what I mean? And that's wrong. That's why we keep on going and coming back to the same building or the same whatever it is, lot or whatever. We keep on coming back because it ain't enough, like you say, teeth in it to make it work.
So encourage, I mean, I think council wants this as well, and so we can make a recommendation that maybe they, increase the fines or increase the,
The time too. If you're gonna give them 6 months, you give them 6 months, you come back.
okay,
That's my opinion.
okay, and follow up on,
Quit spreading their efforts so thin and start focusing on finishing the job they start before they move on to the next one. You know, like you're talking about putting that effort in and having to come back a year later, well,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
because we didn't finish the job,
Didn't
let's
see
go
that
ahead.
part.
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah,
read
yeah.
that
I'd
part.
rather finish one job out and get
We-
it taken off the list. you know?
we've got the enforced anti-dilapidation code in the, Michelle just pointed out, in there, and we could just put a little thing maybe we encourage, enhancing that a little bit.
Well, the thing is, in smaller applications, like a house, people will walk away from it and let the city take it.
That's
Well,
right.
and that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing either, because we've got, I don't know where it fits on here, but the whole idea of the pocket park thing.
Right.
If
Had to get
if
trouble.
there's a dilapidated house, I've got 2 of them on my street, and, I mean, we could build a very nice park. We already have, right now, there's currently 2 community gardens, and they're both up and running at full steam, and so I think that, I mean, they had to turn both of them away. There weren't enough lots for people to, do whatever they do.
What they implemented in Raton was that any house that's vacant for a very amount of time, that they are fined. You gotta come up
Yeah.
with some money to keep it. So I don't know if that would do any good or not, I really don't.
Yeah, so we've kind of taken that approach. Well, first of all, we gave everyone that had a vacant lot or vacant property, vacant property, I should say. We gave them 2 months to come in and get their, by code, you're supposed to have it registered. So we did have quite a few people come in, register it. We gave them 2 months to do it for free, just because sometimes people inherit a property, maybe they don't have $500 to register it. And stuff happens like that. So we gave them 2 months to do it for free. After that, which that 2 months ended at the end of the year, we're going to start to really enforce our vacant code, which is doing what you just said there, Commissioner Moderano, going and fining them for not doing it. And then once they get fines, if they can't pay the fines, we'll turn that into liens, which does affect your property. Because then turning around and selling it, you can't do. Or at some point you could get it on tax liens. So that's kind of the process. That's what Pueblo's very successful at that. They obviously have a bigger team and it's a little easier for them to handle, but they have more houses. So, but that's that's what they've done. We've kind of copied that from them. So we started that. We want to give everyone a chance to do it for free because there are situations where people inherit a house and they don't have the money for it or whatever. But after that case, it was we have been forcing that vacancy code a little bit more starting this year. So which is good. It's just it is a lot. And the hard part too is making sure that there's not already liens and some people are having on a tax lien and they're trying to, someone new's gonna acquire it, so, and then trying to work with that person that's gonna acquire it at that point, but ironing all that out, so but that is a very fair point on this. I will say, we kinda went into the next goal for sure, which is encourage infill and foster opportunities for redevelopment of underutilized land and buildings downtown, which is kind of referencing the vacancy, the dilapidation. So the action steps there were emphasize the renovation of existing structures, ongoing property maintenance, and strengthen downtown vitality in order to maintain stability and promote rehabilitation of or restoration of existing structures in order to maintain the area's established character. Which is all, we've been talking about that for the last 20 minutes, so just let you guys know which is all fine, it's all good.
I have a quick question about this last thing we went over. Cause you're talking about the incentives, like maybe grants that you're going after, and then the asbestos is such a big, it's all over and it's expensive.
It is.
Is there like grants that could cover at least that, so then people would have more of a chance to renovate?
Yeah, so the city, I'm working with Stantec, who we've partnered with in the past. We are applying for a $500,000 assessment grant. We could do phase 1 and phase 2 assessments of properties. That application is due at the end of this month, so and I forget exactly when they tell you. I think it's like middle of the year they tell you if you're awarded or not. We've had success, so I'm really confident, especially with working with Stantec, because they've done it for us in the past. They're really good at this. So I'm hopeful that we'll get about $500,000 to do assessment, which is great because then a property owner could go to the EPA. That's an EPA grant itself, but they could go to the EPA and say, now I know exactly how much I have. Can I get a grant to abate that? So that's what the city's done that itself to do the Fox. So that's how we did the Fox Theater. So I helped oversaw the tail end of that. That was about $750,000 worth of asbestos abatement. That's also Holy Trinity, that assessment grant. The property owner or the developer afterwards was able to go get an EPA grant. That was like $1 million in asbestos abatement. So it is a good opportunity to get those projects. So we're working on that. Hopefully that grant application goes well. Like I said, I'm confident, but you never know because it's the federal government. And but we're trying our best, and that's one tool that we've used in the past and we'll hopefully continue to use.
I can't remember what you guys called it, with
Brownsville. Yeah.
Brownsville, so is that the EPA part of it?
Yes, that's a
Okay.
it's
Brownsfield,
EPA,
is that
Brownfield assessment grant. Yeah.
Brownfield assessment.
Yes. So we're still working on that, and our last one ended at the end of last year. So now we're eligible to apply again, so we are.
And then is it like anytime a property is sold to a new person, are they like made aware of that?
Yeah, so technically it's the change of use. So if you're going to change the use of a property, then you'll have to look at that's when you're going to trigger all your ADA requirements, all your environmental assessment requirements. That's when that happens. Or you come in for a building permit, you're going to have to do all that. So like the well was a good example. Changing that from a store, I don't know what that was, Hallmark basically, and then changing it to the hotel tap room, or I think it's a tap room. That caused all that. So there was environmental assessment done. There was ADA requirements placed on it. So that's when that happens.
So that was in the historical preservation district, though, right?
It was, yes.
So they were able to apply for a grant.
And I mean, Keely's really, she's very good at applying for grants. She's gotten plenty of grants. She has one through Turret as well, for the facade. She's done some other ones from Safe Circle Foundation. So yeah, she's gotten plenty. She wasn't eligible for housing now because it was a hotel. That hotel, it's good because it allows you to do some stuff on the like it's not residential, so you don't have to meet all those specific codes, but it doesn't. You can't apply for. It does eliminate some grant opportunities for you. So, but she does really well at acquiring grants. So,
The apartment complex, when you're talking about the 120 units that had come on, the apartment complex, is that the one that's over off Goddard next to the other?
Yeah, it's off north.
Okay,
It's
so
north
how-
of Camillus, yes, sir.
Okay, but that wouldn't count as being in here, so that'd be,
No, it's not really infill.
I mean, that would be, that's affordable housing where we want affordable housing.
That was,
So-
I think that's in the, let me see if I can check.
And that was like 46 units?
40.
40.
Okay.
Yeah, 40. It's 22 bedroom, 23 bedroom, and a 6 single bedroom. That's in the reinvestment area of our plan direction.
Reinvestment.
Yeah, so, yeah, not really hitting this goal, but it's still one of the goals we have in our comprehensive plan for sure. And, yeah, project like that, we can't say no to. That's a really good project for us.
So on the first one, did we meet our goals or not? I marked we did, and then I'm second guessing it.
Yeah, I know, I don't know.
I would
We got 80 out of
Yeah.
100.
Yeah.
So we still need 20 more.
Yeah, I would say that's a goal that we probably want to continue to have. If
Add to.
I would say we want to continue to maybe incentivize our downtown. I think that was the overall consensus. Is we still want downtown infill, definitely,
Yeah.
and we probably want to continue to incentivize it.
So when we're saying downtown, are we saying the Corazon district, or
I'm-
how are you?
I kind of classify it as the core zone district, yes.
Okay.
So it'd be Main Street and commercial, and then yeah, some of the
So we
surrounding.
didn't meet that goal yet.
I don't know if we met, and the thing is, I don't know if we're saying we're gonna meet these goals. I think it's kind of just having this goal. Do we wanna continue having it?
Got
Do-
it.
do we
Like,
wanna
you want it
change
still in the
it?
plan, is
Do
what
you,
you're
want-
saying?
yeah, do you still want it in the plan?
Gotcha, okay.
Does it need to be focused on more? Does it need to be focused on less? I'm gonna say like the next goal with the encourage infill and foster opportunities, it sounds like we need to focus on this more. And I think that's across the board too, because that's really about our dilapidation, our vacancy. So I'm gonna say that, maybe, and I don't know exactly, but when we go to a consultant, we'll say, hey, what's your experiences? Have you done a comp plan in like Lone Tree, where the city's built in 2005? They're not gonna have the same issues we are, right?
No.
Or have you done one in like,
Because they're-
old Colorado City where those buildings are, older than the state? Cause that's the kind of stuff that we probably need, we're in that boat where, some of our buildings are older than the city itself. So,
Right.
that,
So I have a question, and I know you guys all know the answer to this, and I apologize,
No,
because I
but
don't know.
that's what you're up here for.
But I'm just trying to understand it in my brain. So when you do this comprehensive plan, and you spend all this money to put it together, is it just for a wish list, or is it no, this is what we need to do? What's the point of spending all this money on a plan that year after year just gets extended, and then the next comprehensive plan, they do it again, and nothing's actually changing? How does this get implemented into really real life stuff?
That's a fair point. I think, looking at the goals, it's good to assess, I don't know if you'll ever check them off, is really if that's what you're
Yeah.
thinking. That maybe you can if they're, but a lot of them are, the town's constantly growing, town's constantly changing. I guess you could check this goal off if you had 100%, rate downtown.
So once
which-
the goals are there, then how does it get from here? Okay, yep, we got a comprehensive plan, we paid for
Mhm.
it, it's printed, it's at City Hall.
Yeah.
So then, how does
So-
it actually get put into
Well,
practice?
so a lot of it, so every time I submit a grant to DOLA, they ask for a copy of the comprehensive plan,
Mhm.
because they wanna see that the stuff we're requesting is in there,
Okay,
because this is a guiding document for our city. And then as, planning commissions change with their members and city councils change, well, this document's not gonna change. So
okay.
this is kind of agreed upon, right, 2017, this is the direction of our city, and.
So does the
so-
city manager implement, so this is the direction of the city, so then what happens to get it to not just the grant part, but the
Mhm.
real life, okay, this goal was to emphasize the renovation of existing structures and how to measure enforcing dilapidation code.
Mhm.
Well, they totally have ignored that for years, right?
Yeah.
So, how do we get it from like, these are great thoughts and this is what everybody wants to do, to actually doing it? Or is that not our role?
No, I think it's holding people accountable is definitely part of it, so, you know, if you wanna call me and say, Nick, why don't you do more vacancy stuff, and why don't you do more dilapidation stuff,
Yeah.
that's totally fine.
I think
There
as
need to be more
citizens-
people to do the enforcement than
Right.
Right.
you. I mean,
Yeah, you
the
can't
system's
be
broken, it's not,
No, so it's not that, but then it's stuff like, when I go to the city manager and I say, hey, I need more capacity, I need another person.
Sure,
This comprehensive
why.
plan says so,
yeah,
this is the guiding document for the city, I need it,
right.
and, you know, and then we fight over budget,
So it does work that way.
Yeah, it should be, it is, it's a tool for
There's
everyone.
There's no way one person, you,
Oh, I got another person.
or two people, there's no way two people could do this. So if it's part of the plan,
Mhm.
it's gotta be part of the budget, it's gotta be part of
That's
the-
right, yeah.
everything, right? Okay.
Yeah. But if it's more, and I don't know, because I wasn't around last time, I'm sure vacancy and dilapidation is, I think it's always been a problem. I don't know if it feels like it's worse now. I think our vacancy feels worse now, that's for sure. But, yeah, I mean, I think it's heard loud and clear that this is a issue. It's an issue for me too. I can't stand it, so. I think we could focus on it and try to maybe, it helps me get capacity or helps me get, you know, funding to maybe knock down an extra house or two a year. That'd be fantastic, so.
And could it be part of the police? Like, does it have to be just in the planning thing? Like, if they're enforcing rules and regulations, or
Mhm.
how do they put it, anti-dilapidation code?
An enforcement officer is a police officer.
Yeah, it's hard because the code enforcement isn't in the development services realm. But as our new police chief gets onboarded, I think he's in line with this stuff too. He's dealt with this quite a bit. So he has some other issues he's really focused on right now. But once he gets his feet under him a bit, I'll definitely talk to him and see how we could better work together. Because it wasn't, you know, I get along with the police department, and, you know, my peers over there, fine, but probably have a little better relationship with how we can handle some of this stuff, so. And like I said, the city council's all on board on this, so I think it's going to be coming, which is encouraging, but it's not going to be easy.
I think the official answer to your question is that the city manager and the council should be guided by the comprehensive plan.
Yes.
That's the way, that's the official word. How it actually gets to the tarmac is up to the city manager and the city council, but we can make recommendations. And that's what
That's what we're here for.
we're here for.
But you know, the concept for the downtown area, for apartments upstairs, that was created in the 1900s,
Yeah.
early 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
As you see the building across the street, that's what it was like.
Yeah, yeah.
The Savoy Cave
Mm-hmm.
upstairs, they had the same
Yeah.
concept. So it's not new.
No.
The only thing is you gotta let people know if there is money available for them to start renovating.
Yeah.
Cause you have abatement,
Mhm.
different issues that you gotta deal with.
Yeah.
So that has to come from downstairs.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mr. Spade.
I have a question for you. In all these goals, I agree they're all great growth goals. Would the implementation and development of technology in any way get us any type of funding for this, or any more progress? I mean, could we get a grant to lay fiber and make this more attractive? Because if we could, we should.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on board for the development of technology. Let's become the #1 tech town in the world if we have to, in order to become
Yeah.
more attractive to the people that are gonna develop these spaces.
That's a good question.
Well, that's one of the things I mentioned here not too long ago. You have to have a place of destination for people to be able to make a living and.
He just
come here.
mentioned it as well.
That's right.
You know, I mean, honestly, I'm working on a few projects as well. We have the technology program down at the college. We should invest in our community in becoming the next new thing.
Mhm.
You know, that's what we're really trying to be. We're trying to be the next new thing. We want to know how to revitalize ourselves. That's what the marijuana industry actually was. We jumped on board that because it was the next new thing and we was gonna get better.
Well, if
And
you-
we did, you know, I'm not saying that we didn't better ourselves out of that. Our buildings are better, our town has come a long way, but that's gone. It's past. We need to know what the next new thing is. The next new thing is this AI, this technology, these chips. I mean, man, memory has tripled in cost in just a month. This is amazing, you know,
Yeah.
and there is all kinds of money out there for this.
Yeah, I would say that probably falls in the economic development,
Right.
because, you know, looking at that, which is definitely that's definitely on the board for trying to land something like what you're talking about there,
Yeah.
interesting, because, so I would say that's fair. I don't know if right now, if with what we're talking about with the, you know, infill,
Well,
but
I
it's
mean,
all fair though.
If we could get the grant to put the fiber in, then maybe the excess in the work would take care of the asbestos that's in the
Yeah.
building. You know, that's what I'm trying to say, is that maybe one project would overlap the other.
Synergies.
Gotcha.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
we
not-
just gotta use each other to help, you
Yeah,
know?
no, definitely. You guys wanna keep going, or should we call it quits there? It's up to you guys,
Dinner time?
it's up to you guys. Like I said, we're not in a rush for this, we got some time on the comprehensive plan. I'm still, working with, trying to set a meeting with, Des, who you guys all know, or remember Des. She's actually our regional rep for DOLA now, so. I emailed her, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, good for Des. Or she's a assistant regional rep, so, but she's my contact, which is easy, cause I know her. So, yeah, so she'll.
The city manager knows her too.
Oh, yeah, yes, the city manager, city manager knows quite a few people at DOLA.
Yeah, you
for
bet.
sure. So, it's always interesting, going to a meeting with her and DOLA folks, cause she knows them all so well, so it's cool.
So when we come back, I'm not saying we end the meeting, but when we come back, you're gonna have like another little spreadsheet of what we talked about.
Yeah, I'll summarize it and I'll put it in the feedback.
This is the kind here, because when I print mine, I can hardly read it on my.
Yeah.
It's so small.
Sorry,
And
yeah.
I try and bring it up, I try and bring it up, and I can't.
Yeah, sorry. I could always do that, and I'll.
I think if we keep, and then we could keep them sheets.
Yeah, we'll keep
Then when
them.
we have an overall review, we just go right through them.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
say, well, this is what we had, this is what we want, and this is what we're proposing.
yeah,
That way.
yeah. I'll summarize everything we talked about, those two goals there, and I'll put it in the feedback, and then what I'll do is this is gonna be an Excel sheet, because it's, like I said, I'm engineer at heart. So I'll put that on the drive too, that way you guys can at least look into the engineer, you can see it in there, and it's an Excel sheet, and then I'll, do PDFs and print them off, and, I could print them off every time, and that way it's all there, and
You guys for that?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
that's great.
Sounds good. That sounds great.
a little easier to work with
Yes,
than
it
the
is.
other ones, okay, good. Yeah, like I said, I always revert to spreadsheets, that's.
You guys wanna have an adjournment? What do you wanna do?
I make a motion, we go to dinner.
That's an adjournment there.
Adjourn.
He's making a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second.
Oh, okay.
Roll call.
Did you guys wanna do council reports at all?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Dang.
You guys, I'm sorry.
God have it.
Okay.
Almost, not yet, sorry about that.
New business then,
No.
chairman report. The only thing I had, was, going to, and I reported that, I called the city. One of the worst things in the city of Trinidad is some of the snow removal. And this had to do with the city of Trinidad. Below the police department on First Street, I went to go get some license plates for our company. And that's all the way to the bank was not cleaned. So a lady got out of her car and fell right there. So I went and picked her up, but the minute I picked her up, I called the city. I told her to come down, but evidently she didn't. But within an hour, they came and cleaned it. They cleaned all the front, going up Chestnut there. in front of the police trailer.
Mhm.
And that one alongside, right across from the burned out building and
Mhm.
going down towards the bank, there was almost 7 inches of snow there.
Mhm. Okay.
And I don't know what the reason was, and I did get a hold of people at City Hall, and within an hour, they had somebody there cleaning it.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I just thought that's kind of funny, because people are told they're gonna have their fine if their snow being removed, and here we have a city police department
Mhm.
on the north side, and it ain't clean.
Hmm.
I still see people feeding people at Chimino Park. And congregating down there, especially where the bathrooms are. And having tables and chairs there. Anyway, I know we've all talked about this before. And I don't have nothing else to report on.
The skate park is all tagged up again, so it is, I mean, it's looking beautiful. They're not touching the actual skating part, but the bathroom is
Yeah, the bathroom's
totally tagged up.
tagged up.
And
Yeah.
I guess garbage wise, I picked up, it was only a Domino's pizza bag, so that's less than a 33 gallon bag. So for me, that was a small success, but you know.
Yeah, I did call Public Works about that, so it should be on the list for the, I did drive by the.
And I don't know if they pick up the trash, but the trash cans at the actual skate park, there's no bags in them, and there's no bags in the ones going up to the, on the disc golf area. And if, I mean, picking up trash helps people to pick up trash.
Yeah, well, I'll call him again and ask him before he
Mr. Roll,
takes care of that.
nothing, Mr. Moira, Mr. Spain.
I just wanted to say that, first off, the repair of the skate park, it went amazing. I finally made it down there to get a good look at it, and y'all did a great job on getting that taken care of. I really appreciate it, and so do the people. I made it up to the meeting with the chief of police the other day down at the Commons. That went really well, in talks with him and the city, I hope, and the college, with working on that problem you just spoke about. This is an active monitoring system, automated, patched into a central hub down at the department. It'll be good. It's still in the planning phases. I hope that y'all support me in moving that forward. I also want to say that the citizens are very thankful. They noticed the changes right away. They noticed that y'all were down at the River Walk, helping take care of the issues. They noticed the police presence down there the next morning after that meeting with the chief. So I want to tell y'all that they said thank y'all very much, and I appreciate that, guys. I know we can't fix these problems overnight. I know this is something that takes time and effort, and I just appreciate y'all being here and us working towards solutions.
Mr. Miller? Chair?
I'm anxious about the new leadership that the Coalition for the Unhoused has, and I understand she spoke before the council here earlier this week. I didn't get a chance to attend or even read about what she proposed, but I am hopeful that the work that she's undertaking will help ameliorate some of these problems that we're facing and improve public safety.
Who has this new spot? What her name is, anybody?
Erica Gonzalez.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, before we move on to director, we have a visitor.
That's
Wanna
my
come
wife.
forward? Is that your wife?
Yes.
All right.
It's
Well, I'm
not-
glad to see you here. Director, report?
Yeah, so, like I said, I'm gonna be talking with Des at DOLA for that EIF grant for the comp plan. That's due mid-February. Our EPA assessment's due at the end of the month. That's like I said, it's a $500,000 ask there. So that's kind of what's taking up most of my time at the moment, asking for money from the federal and state government. And then some quick updates. The Church Street project, it's still moving. like I said, there's some grant funds involved with that. We completed our development agreement with the developers, so that's good, and there's a lot of funding for them as well in that agreement. So that project looks like it's moving forward, and I think they're planning preliminary the rehabilitation to start in March, which is fantastic. And that project itself, I think it's going to move. They're about done where they've been working with all the utility lines, so that's going to move onto Church Street itself, probably within the month. So they'll continue to do point repairs, utility stuff, utility repairs, and then it's going to get a little bit uglier. So, but they'll open up a couple roads, and hopefully it won't hurt too bad. But it's going to get a little bit uglier, just because it is going to get a little bit bigger. And then the goal for, or the deadline on that one is, it was a year-long project, so we'd be looking at October to get it wrapped up. So a little bit of pain, but it's gonna be well worth it. Get a brand new street, utility lines put into that street. That's, that sewer line in there was approximately 100 years old. So yeah, it's gonna be good to have it redone. The Mark project, I drove by today, went and talked with the contractor and their subcontractor. They're starting to move dirt. That's over there off North and Camillus. So that project broke ground. I'm very happy with that, because I myself put in ever since I started, that was the first call I answered, or one of the first calls I answered when I started at the city was that project. So I'm happy to see it break ground. Really, really awesome there. Duran Ventures, they have completed Duran Way. They completed all the infrastructure along Morse Canyon. So they have warranty bonds on those right now, and been talking with them a little bit, and it looks like they're gonna start building some houses. So you guys had a big say on that, and I sure do appreciate it, and they do as well. And I'm looking forward to them putting in some housing up there, and that's like market rate housing. That's just as the market dictates type of housing. So it's gonna be very, very good. I'm happy for them, and happy they've done a good job so far. And the last thing, or I guess two last things. The last thing on development is so the city owned the property, parcel D in the industrial park. It's right across from Love's. I don't know if you've watched last city council meeting. That was last Tuesday. Yeah, the city met with some developers, and after some investigation, it looks like the best option is to go with selling that property to Pilot. So Pilots do travel centers, very similar to Love's. They have their own deals with truckers, just like Love's does. So talking with them, they don't worry about competition for the most part, because their hauling companies that they partner with go to Pilot. Love's go to Love's. So they have a big market base that they know they're going to sell gas to, and food and all that other stuff. So a really positive project. Looked like 70 jobs were going to come out of that.
Is that going to go south of Love's?
South of Love's,
So
across the street.
This side of the tracks?
Yeah, same side of the tracks. as Love's.
So that place that was going to have fancy pot place.
Ooh.
So is that on the other side of that, where they got the things sticking up and doesn't have no roof or nothing?
Oh yeah, it's to the north of that.
It's to the north of that?
Yeah, that big 17-acre lot. It has a bit of a drainage running through it. That's the lot.
So it's opposite of Love's.
Exactly opposite of Love's, across from Elmore Road. So
Backs up against the,
to the highway, yes.
to the highway.
And to that property,
The
yes.
dispensary property, yeah.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah. So yeah, it's out there. So it looks very, very positive for our city, and our continue to grow a little bit with some jobs and everything else like that, tax base and everything else. So it looks.
What about the Opera House?
So the owner submitted a building permit application. There was some deficiencies with it. Talking with her, I haven't talked to her. I think my assistant talked to her not too long ago, and it sounds like she was still working through them to address some of the structure concerns that were raised in her submittal. But I think you know, she's working through that, and I've seen some people going through to, I'm guessing they were engineers to help her get that ironed out, so hopefully we'll be seeing a building permit for it soon. Like I said, the city went into it, and it's one of those buildings that the 20% is gonna cost you 80% of the money, and then the 80% is gonna cost you 20% of the money. It's,
Oh, wow.
you know, it's the bad is really bad, but the rest of it's actually in pretty decent shape, so, hopefully we can help, you know, assist her as best we can to get that project moving forward.
So that's been there.
Yeah, and it's not gonna, I mean, the first thing, and this was what the building permit was just to stabilize the building, because there is a $1.2 million EPA grant that she received for asbestos abatement, so, and we did assist her with the assessment as well, so we did a phase
She
one.
received that already?
She was awarded, yes, the 1.2 million from the EPA for grant, for asbestos abatement. So, but the concern is the building has to be structurally sound prior to the abatement, obviously.
Right.
Abatement's not, it's messy, it tears apart the building, so it needs to be structurally sound before you, yeah, or else it'd be dangerous, so. Before you start tearing out walls, you know, it's in the plaster, it's in the floor, it's in your shingles, so, yeah.
What about the one on First Street that burned?
Can I talk to you about it after, after next meeting, please?
Okay.
Because there's another meeting in a couple of days that hopefully, or, yeah, maybe next month, if that's
Okay.
okay, if that's okay.
I don't wanna put you on the spot.
No, yeah,
It kind of fits in with what we were talking about.
I understand, but it's gonna get into a, something that it's gonna be brought up in like an executive session, so,
That's right.
yeah.
Nick, I had a question
Go
for
ahead.
you.
Did you finish with your?
The last thing is, and I looked this up while we were talking, or while we're, so that PD listening was at the end of the month, or at the end of December. I think that's gonna kind of be I don't know if that's gonna, talking with Tracy, Rolls, the police chief, I think that's gonna be kind of a recurring thing. I don't know exactly how often, if it's monthly, quarterly, or, you know, whatever, but he's very open to talking with the public, which is great. He's been great to work with, so, and I'm really confident in him, what he's gonna be doing for our city. But, and then the leadership listening, that's the one with the mayor and the city manager. That's the 21st from 12 to 1.
So it is tomorrow.
No, tomorrow's the 14th.
A week from tomorrow.
Man, I'm living in starting school already. I've been dealing with John.
Where is it going to be, Nick?
That's at the Commons downtown,
The 21st.
21st,
Yeah.
12 to 1.
12 to 1. And I think that's gonna be like a monthly thing. After I listened to it yesterday at the council meeting, I think, and I don't know if it's always gonna be the mayor, it might be some of the council members. But I think if they were shooting for monthly, listening sessions with the city, or just open to the public, so. Just wanna throw that out there, and that's all I have.
Thank you, sir. I had a question for you about the skate park, since I saw all that nice, pretty new concrete down there and everything. I love the project that they got down there at Pueblo on the dam, where they rented spaces out and they started painting.
Mm-hmm.
If we could do something like that with the skate park, you're gonna take care of the tags.
Yeah, that was my idea too.
It would be amazing.
I said,
You could have
you
some
might as well pay
awesome
people
artwork.
to tag it before they take it themselves, so.
Yeah,
Might as well, or you might as well have people.
and let them repaint it every 3 months and get
Yeah.
new murals. I mean,
Yeah, I thought a big, on that
Yes, sir.
bowl there, it says, where it's real tall,
Oh, yeah.
it's like 8 foot, 10
Yeah.
foot, it's tall. I was like, if you said Trinidad across the
oh
top,
man,
it'd
that'd
be
be
awesome.
great, yeah. We
So-
thinking life right there.
Dovetails with the art culture here.
Oh, absolutely, I'd love it.
Yeah, so,
I
I
just
don't
put
know.
that out there.
I threw it out there too, we'll see, I haven't brought it up though, I'll bring it up again.
Thank you, Nick, I appreciate you.
Anybody else? Now you can make your motion.
Oh, yeah. The motion to adjourn, I'll make it.
Have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Miller,
Yes.
Schreider,
Yes.
Materano,
Yes.
Spain,
Yes, sir.
Rullo,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Leone.
Yes. Thank you, sirs.
Good night.
And, see you next time.